Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. I don't think it gets any better than this here. In the bottom left, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, we have got a top Korean Terran, and probably my favorite Korean Terran, it's Cure. Cure has just been grinding away hard. He is pretty consistent. He rarely bombs out of a tournament or anything, and consistency is the way to my heart if you're a StarCraft 2 player. If you go into a tournament and you make, say, top 8 every single time, I will be your big fan. I'll hope for you to have a bigger result. But if you're the kind of guy who just shows up to a tournament and wins it, but then you bomb out and then you lose the next one, like, horribly, I mean, I'll still respect you for winning the first tournament, but I think consistency in StarCraft is one of the hardest things to achieve, and that's why I really like Cure. He's quite a consistent Terran, despite not having any massive results. His play is always consistent. And now, in the top right-hand side of the map, we have got from Alpha X, Astrea. Astrea is rapidly becoming one of my favorite PROTOSS players. One of my favorite USA players is I can't do Neeb dirty like that, but he's even I'd say coming up towards the level of Neeb. Astrea, he's been showing promise for quite a while now, as it's probably been like a year or two, which he's really had some solid results for somewhat kind of like ascending past someone who plays pro StarCraft 2, and basically he's ascended past what people expect of an average North American Joe. He's showing some really good results. His play is quite phenomenal, and that's why I really enjoy watching Astrea. And so I was like, Astrea playing Cure, two consistent, solid, exciting to watch players who always put on good games, sign me up. So, enough of that intro, ladies and gentlemen. That was one heck of an intro for this TVP. We have got an Adept on the way for Astrea, a Stargate. You don't really need to talk too much in the first opening 2 minutes of a StarCraft 2 match, and that lets me go on little spiels and whatnot. For now, the Reaper of Cure is in the main base. Already one probe has died. I'm pretty sure that was the one out on the map, though, so no big deal there. The Reaper does actually juke out Astrea here. Good micro, though, from Astrea in order to save those probes. Solid response from Astrea, pulling the injured probes. Good move in the first place from Cure by getting that Reaper back into the base, kind of pulling the wool over Astrea's eyes. The Reaper might try and dive in again here. It's going to see the Adept at the wall and then have to back off. Astrea, interestingly enough, is going right into a Phoenix behind this, which is kind of a notable play, as sometimes you'd usually see an Oracle first. Some PROTOSS players do make multiple Phoenix in the match just for shutting down drops and things, and we are going to be seeing that from Astrea, so a cool play there. Now, Cure, though, on the other hand, is doing something that I want to see. He's going for a fast third command center. Now, I myself, lately in my matches, I tried to macro probably for like 20 or 30 PVTs, and it did not go well every single game. Astrea taking a bit of a beating on that Phoenix does get away from it. Good call there to run away, but if he did turn and lift the Cyclone, he could have saved a little bit of HP on that Phoenix, just to be completely nitpicky. But yeah, I'm excited to see Cure go for a macro build against PROTOSS. When a good Terran does it, it just looks so strong, as you have a good economy, you've got the great mechanics to then work with the units that the good economy gives you. Whereas if I try and macro up, I just take one bad fight and then I lose everything, and it was pointless building that third command center and making ghosts and Vikings and stuff. Just doesn't work out for me. Now, so we've got Cure not really going for any harassment in this game, not slowing down Astrea, but Astrea still taking a reasonably timed third base. 4 minutes, but Cure's is quite well timed, very good for the Terran player. Of course, Astrea did spot this, so he's in the know in that regard, which is important for him. However, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and go for a super serious like goal on this one. I know we sometimes have our meme like goals, but seeing as how Astrea is at 49 probes right now, let's try and hit 49 likes on this video. If we could actually do that for a Cure versus Astrea awesome StarCraft 2 match, that would be amazing. Now, we've got Combat Shield on the way for Cure. Just on the 3 racks for now. I imagine we'll be seeing racks number 4 and 5 go up soon. He is getting up his 3rd base, though. He's just taking a little bit of harassment from these Phoenix, but it really is just a trivial amount. Of course, Astrea getting those few workers is nice for him. It's definitely better than a poke in the eye. But as far as slowing Cure down, it'll slow him down like a minimal amount. But 3 workers isn't that big of a deal. Now, Astrea behind this, interestingly enough, he's not gone for a fast Twilight Council, he's just getting it up now. He went for Colossus soon as his primary tech, and then is getting up 1-1, which is quite a commitment to double upgrades, so a little bit risky there, as it is quite a big investment against someone like Cure. So we'll see how in the next couple of minutes Astrea is going to pull this together in order to defend versus the attack that's going to come from Cure, because a Terran will always attack in a TVP. It's quite rare that the Terran isn't the offensive player. So we take a look here. Medivac drop from Cure. Gonna just pick off this pylon that was out on the map. Of course, for Astrea, losing a pylon hurts, but having a drop catch you off guard hurts a lot more than the simple cost of that one pylon. So a worthwhile investment for Astrea, who's now getting up another Colossus. He's getting up Charge. Interestingly enough, he hasn't started Extended Thermal Lance, and Astrea is actually floating a little bit of money here. So I'm curious what he's going to spend that on. Looks like he warps in some more Zealots, soon to be Charge lots, as soon as possible for Astrea. Then he gets up a Templar Archives because he's got a lot of gas. The one thing that I've been looking for, notably, is a lack of Extended Thermal Lance for the Colossus, which is going to make the Colossus much less effective. So I'm kind of concerned for Astrea in that regard. He's actually forgetting this upgrade here. I don't think you build, like, you can maybe make 1 or 2 Colossus at the most without getting this upgrade. But the efficiency you lose by not having Extended Thermal Lance for the Colossus at this point, it's just unaffordable. So Astrea not getting that upgrade is a big mistake, I'd say. Not having the extra range to help zone, to help kite with the Colossus, which are great at kiting, it's just not great for Astrea. I think we'll be seeing Astrea want to go for a 4th base pretty quick here too. It's going to be tough to hold on to with all the harassment that's going to be coming out of Cure. Look at this, Cure's already all out on the map. The Phoenix have done a good job repelling the first drop into the main base. However, Astrea does have to be careful with splitting his army, but I'm still concerned here. The fact that there's no Extended Thermal Lance. Yeah, my concern for Astrea in this game, while he's not really doing anything necessarily wrong, he's not getting up a 4th base. There we go. He's going to start that now, but take a look at this. Cure off the back of his 3rd CC is already getting that up. Oh no, the Phoenix were patrolling here, but they pulled out a position. A scan goes down for Cure. It's going to hit the natural base of Astrea. Astrea will have to react, get those Colossus in there. Maybe this is going to be when he realizes he doesn't have that Extended Thermal Lance, as the Colossus got to get extra close to fire. 11 probes actually go down there. No small amount. And it seems that Cure is just going to be macroing away with this game. We're seeing the powerhouse that is the Terran macro machine, the Terran macro industrial complex. Cure getting up an extra starport, making a Ghost Academy. Astrea, he's getting up a 4th base, but with a lack of Psystorm, with a lack of, say, Extended Thermal Lance for his Colossus, I'm quite worried, because if we take a look, Astrea has made 3 Colossus, but he doesn't have Extended Thermal Lance, and the Colossus could be even more effective because there's actually no Vikings out for Cure, so they're quite unchecked at this point, and so you really want to get maximum efficiency out of them by having that. Archon tanks a Widowmine shot there, all the while Astrea is defending a push towards the main base, so he is doing a good job splitting his army, which is quite a tough thing to do. against a Terran that is trying to hit you in multiple locations. It's quite tough for a Protoss player to split their army effectively and defend every single drop. Now, Astrea is going to have to react to this drop that's moving towards his main base. A massive Stalker Warpin is actually going to let him catch these medivacs. Blink is now done. He should be able to get all these medivacs before the retreat happens. He's got Blink. There we go. One of the medivacs gets shot. Both medivacs actually go down. There we go. Great pickoff there for Astrea. So a nice fight. Of course, Cure is amassing at the left side of this base, so we're going to have to see Astrea being careful as this is a lot of bio pushing in. There is still 2 Colossus, still a lot of Zealots, and soon to be 2-2 to bolster their strength. Both players will be on 2-2. We're even seeing Shadow Stride going up for Astrea, which is cool to see. So Blink DTs. Now, I'm going to be getting concerned for Astrea soon, though, as we take a look. There's 4 Ghosts at a time and 4 Vikings at a time on the way for Cure. And if we do take a look here, Astrea is going to be moving out on the map for an attack, but Cure just sees this opportunity. He's going to be stimming towards this 4th base. Astrea is going to pull back, but being out on the map, it cost him this location. He's just going to say right then next is forfeit. I'm just going to have to try and defend my 3rd, but look at this. Cure's moving in towards the natural. Astrea, though, with a Disruptor, gets a pretty solid connection. The issue, though, is the Disruptor was all by itself, so it's going to get picked off. Cure is very committed for this drop. He's getting a lot of damage, though. 19 probes go down. A big Blink Stalker warping into the main base, but the Stalker's unsupported. Can't defend versus this. All the while, the units in the natural will be getting cleaned up, but this has been a big blow against Astrea. It's going to cost Cure a lot of units, I feel, in the end to make this attack happen. Was it worth it? Absolutely, I'd say. The Colossus, once again, still without the extended thermal lance, shall I point out. Astrea now, he's going to be sending a big Zealot counterattack, probably towards Cure's 3rd base. As you know, the Planetary is a 4th base. I'd like to see him split up some of these Zealots, some towards the main, some towards the natural. He's also just trying to use his Phoenix to clean up what remains of this drop. And it looks like we will be seeing Astrea move across the map. He's going to be going all in against Cure right now. These Zealots run into the Ghost. Bad timing there, as all these Ghosts, just such an amount of Ghosts, are going to be able to pick off those Zealots with ease, significantly lowering Astrea's supply. So Astrea is going to have to take one solid fight. He still doesn't have extended thermal lance for his Colossus, by the way, which while there's 5 or 6 Vikings, remain mainly unchecked. 6 Vikings against 3 Colossus isn't quite enough for the Terran. We're going to be seeing Cure go for a full-on base trade. Astrea, he's getting up that Dark Shrine because he lost his main one. He didn't even finish researching that DT Blink, which could potentially hurt him in a base trade situation. We are seeing Astrea go for the full-on base trade, though. He's doing everything right, I'd say. I'd like to see some probes move out on the map for safety, as you got to make sure you have at least some probes out on the map. We take a look here. Astrea is pushing into the main base. He's pretty much handling Cure's bio with ease. His 3-3 upgrades, he wants to try and get those to finish up, but I'm not sure if they will. Disruptors were about to pop out, but they didn't quite, which is painful for Astrea. And I'm actually looking at Astrea's army and base right now, and I haven't seen a single probe escape. A Disruptor moves out, gets a massive connection there for Astrea. Great move there, but he doesn't have energy to recall in his main base. He doesn't have a single... Okay, there we go. He has a single probe out on the map. Astrea is essentially saved in that regard. However, I am concerned because there's actually not enough money for Astrea to make a Nexus. He does have Phoenix, though, so he can potentially win a base trade. But at the same time, Cure is making Vikings. We're into a very scrappy situation. That Disruptor shot was a great move for Cure. But take a look at this. Astrea does have the DTs here, though, and this could be the ace up his sleeve. The Ghosts are going to have to use Expert EMP in order to handle these DTs, as Cure doesn't really have any scans. Every unit that these DTs get is absolutely worth it. And if we take a look, there's 5 DTs for Astrea. I'd like to see him send in one at a time to make sure they don't all get EMP'd. And even if they just pick off 1 or 2 units, it is so worth it. Look at this, Astrea trying to target the Ghost. He's injuring up a lot of those units. More DTs moving forward, catching a Marauder or 2, but the EMP is enough for Cure to shut these down. Astrea still in the main base is trying to clean up this army. It looks like, though, Cure, with a Planetary Fortress, with all of his orbital commands flying over, even a second Planetary Fortress, is going to be the player who should take this game here. A scrappy DT base trade. Astrea is going to have to rely on some big Disruptor hits if he wants to win this game, and I believe he can. He lowered the Viking count down to 3, which is good for him, as his 2 Colossus are going to help out, but we still haven't actually seen extended thermal lance, and I don't think we will at this point in this game, but it would actually help in this situation. Disruptor Nova's going out, gets a pretty solid connection. Kira is going to be getting baited forward. Good save from Astrea, picking that Disruptor up. He needs to keep that if this fight gets dragged out longer. EMP hits all the Archon, though, making mincemeat of them. They essentially just pop. Astrea is trying to shut down the mining at Kier's base here. However, we're seeing production for Kier, so this situation is going to get better and better for him, as he does have Marauders on the way. The Phoenix are now here for Astrea too. They can help out. They can potentially get some pickoffs. But, I mean, even with this planetary under siege, Kier is mining at this other planetary fortress that Astrea doesn't know about. Marauders getting lifted up. Disruptor goes out, picks off some of the SCVs, gets saved. I mean, Astrea is doing everything he can to push in right now, but while the army supply is close, the planetary is going to be tough to crack. Ghost looking to try and pick off that prism. The Disruptor really is the ace up Astrea's sleeve. Stalkers move forward, trying to pick off any SCVs that they can. Got to be careful. EMP goes down on the Colossus. EMP hits the Prism, hits the Phoenix, hitting everything. Great use of those EMP from Kier. This Disruptor is going to want to try and get a good connection off. There goes the Nova out. What'll it hit? He's going to settle for the single Marauder. The problem is, though, for Astrea, Kier is making multiple Marauders at a time. A Phoenix goes down. And I think that Astrea is just going to run out of gas. He can't really break this planetary. And Kier is mining. He's making more units. The Disruptor, while it has got some okay shots, while it's probably got a good kill count, is it's just not enough to cut it here, I feel. Astrea is trying to do everything that he can, but the planetary fortress is too strong. PFs are very effective against low number of units with an SCV repair. They're essentially impossible to break. It's one of their main strengths. Astrea is slowly bleeding off units here. He's got a DT killing the eBay. There's a turret, though, at this planetary fortress. So Kier, I think, should be able to take this. Disruptor gets picked off. Oh, big mistake there, and that's GG. Kier takes it. A close match from Astrea, showing that he can compete with the best of the best. He's still got a few things to work on. Like, I'd say, like, I don't know if it was intentional, him forgetting extended thermal lens, but I can't imagine where it was. If it would be, it didn't really affect things too much, but little thing like that. I mean, little bit scrappy game there. Kier had a lead most of the game, but Astrea did sure make a good fight of it. So as I said before, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and hit 49 likes on this video. That would be amazing. Of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Join the Discord to hang out and submit your replays. And thanks to those of you that do support the channel via the memberships. I may stream on YouTube, as I want to get back into streaming, and I'm deciding whether to do it on YouTube or Twitch. And you can support the channel via those memberships. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.